Shout out to Mountain and Fish, I got Iggy and Woods doing right for the culture. If you just here for the views and the likes and just put out on mic, you a vulture. They let me down, but the raps did it. They let me down, but the switch did it. They let me down, but the raps did it. They let me
This your boy Iggy.
It's your boy Woods.
Listen, we want to thank everybody who's been supporting us. Run up those subs on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Instagram. We're everywhere. We want to shout out our distant cousins title league. Let's get it.
You know what I mean. Emoji fingers all day. Android finally got one. It's about time, man.
Yeah.
Like, run the check, bro. You know I gave you the idea. Let's go.
Yeah, but we got a special guest here with us today, man. We got Nickeil Alexander-Walker's in the building.
He's play with them. Play with them, yo. That's the segment. Did it on the defensive end, on the offensive end. You had a hell of a year. Play with them, baby. Make a t-shirt out of that.
But yo, listen, appreciate you coming by. You know, you just got to work out. You're getting prepared for Canada basketball. So much respect for sitting down with us, man, after your workout. But let's dive into it, man. And I want to just talk about the beginning for you as far as basketball. Like, where'd that start for you?
For me, is kind of all I knew. As much as I can remember, like being in rap the ball when I was 5. Having like the Fisher Price net in my house. Like when I think about my life and like how far I've come, I've always had basketball. There's no like introduction where I can remember. I feel like when I was born, it was there. Like my mom had the mindset like, you know what, I'm gonna put my son into basketball and he's gonna play. And I don't think she had the mindset of like, I'm gonna turn him into a pro, but just kind of like giving him that game, that love. Like I know she played, I know my uncles played, and there's a love for that. So I think for me, that's just how it started, and like I never wanted to put it down. Like it went everywhere I went. To this day, like I see my mom's old friends, and like they still remember me as like the little kid with the basketball. Like just me and my mom were best friends, and so she would take me everywhere, but I'd have the ball with me and like just be dribbling, playing as much as I can, and it turned into some.
Shout out to moms, man.
Shout out moms.
Were you that kid that was in the room and you know you're playing with that rim and you're making a bunch of noise and she's yelling like, "Yo, stop"?
No, my grandma was the worst with it. My grandma, like she was big on. She always used to tell me moderation.
Play about moderation. Oh, that line right there.
And she's like, you can't do everything all the time. And I would play like from whenever I woke up till like 11 o'clock at night, like unless they're telling me I gotta go to sleep. Like if it's school night, probably not. But I get home from school, I'm playing, whatever little bit of homework I have, doing it, and then just playing the whole time. If it wasn't that, like my uncles always made me watch the game. Like, he was always saying, you have to understand, like
definitely. And
there's no just watching. You gotta listen to what the commentators are saying. You gotta listen. They're gonna give you some gems. You gotta hear what they're telling you, why things are happening during the game. You can't just watch and look at a guy's shoes or taking like the player's swag. Like Kobe had the wristband. Some guys had the shooting sleeves. Like he's making sure we're taking stuff from the game and not just what we see. Like that's just attracted to like, you know, like a young kid.
Yo, bottom line, I'm a little older, but like when Allen Iverson came, I used to cut the socks. I couldn't afford the sleeves. So I cut both sides of the sock and put it on my sleeve. But obviously I was learning the wrong things in the game. I should have been really taking in his moves and stuff. But talking about the young kids nowadays, like in Canada, in Toronto, there's so many preps now. It's a beautiful thing. Academies, prep schools. You chose to go to a prep in the States, right? So, why did you attend? Why did you choose to attend a school in the state, a prep school in the States?
I think at that time it was right before the Orangeville Athletes Institute, which was like kind of like the first real one. And then it kind of just pushed down for Canada. But I think in my age group, that little like bubble age bracket, I should say, we were looking at Wiggins, X, Tyler Ennis, Mike, Tristan, Corey.
Mike Kabonga?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So all those guys were like across. So we're thinking, okay, I'm trying to do max 2 years in Canada, and now I gotta go. Like I thought that's the blueprint to getting to where I wanted to be, because from what I seen, these guys had success doing it, and that's what they did. So I'm thinking, dang, if I'm here 3 years, then it's over for me. Like, I kind of set a timeline for myself of, again, it was like a little naive and not understanding, but like the edge of wanting to just make it. So for me, it was like, I need that competition. I need to get as good as I can be, get out there and be seen, play on the national schedule like Huntington and all those guys, and go against the best.
That's it.
So you went to Vaughn, play under Gus for 2 years.
Shout out Coach Gus.
Yeah,
man.
shout out Gus. You definitely got your jersey recently retired over there, correct? Yeah. How was it like playing for Gus, man, those 2 years?
Honestly, like, I was actually on the junior team. And I would go on tournaments with the senior team.
Right.
Yeah.
And I remember OFSA it was in grade 10 going with the senior team. I think we were up big. And they put me in the fourth. And I just went like, one thing about Gus is like he's gonna feed the hot hand. He's gonna play into it. And I always say this, like he always gave me an opportunity and a platform. Like if I needed a gym, he'd open it. Yeah. If I needed to work out, he gave me that opportunity and he supported me all the way through. Even after I left. If I came into Vaughn, it's, hey, what do you need? What can I do for you? And I'll say that about playing for Gus and like being associated with him. I would also say like that OFSA game had like 20 in the fourth, but it was just like the confidence of being a young guy.
Hold on. Grade 10, 20 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, like
at grade 10 in OFSA.
They didn't really play much like prior in the game, and then he just kind of let me go and just kind of erupted. Like I don't even really remember like how it went. I just know like it just started going, and then next thing you know, I was just locked in. But I think like even in that moment, when I think about it as a young player, a lot of times when you get that chance to kind of play up or with the older guys, you're gonna be like, am I ready yet? I don't want to mess up. But like my eagerness was accepted. And so good shot, bad shot. He didn't really like hold me back and he let me be free. And I think that's what kind of led to it.
Yeah. So two questions quickly. You go to school in Tennessee. How was the transition while you're there? Because I know when I actually left here and went to school in the States, I think just the aggression, like how aggressive those kids were in the States were. So I had to learn that part of it. So that was something I had to adjust to. But what was it for you when you got there? And then how was the process as far as choosing a school? Because I know, again, when I was coming up, there was no your top 10, your top 5 and all that stuff. Listen, we liked the school. We went on a visit. Bam, we're going here. So how was those two things for you?
It was pretty cool. I think being at Hamilton Heights with Shay was an easier transition. Having family, the host family that we live with suddenly became my own family. Like to this day, we'll text them, and me and Shay were there, and like we helped them with their children and babysitted a bunch, and they were big on like church groups and heavy in the church. So they would go to their small group. We would babysit, and like their son became like our little brother. And it gave us that responsibility of like watching after someone now. And I think even talking to them, I know I can call them whenever. I know I can go there, see them, and I see them more as like family members, as opposed to like, oh, I lived with them for 2 years. Yeah, I went to school and all that stuff. Like we actually created a bond with their family, Christmases together and stuff. And I think that transition made it a lot easier because we didn't feel like strangers. We didn't feel like we were the outsiders. Yeah. We were welcomed with open arms and like into their family. And I think that was probably the best thing that could have happened for us because we were comfortable.
Yeah.
And as far as the aggression goes, I think I learned, and like being in the locker room talking to my like American teammates, they all played football when they were young. They all played multiple sports, especially in the South. Like you're gonna play football, then basketball. Basketball's probably gonna be your second. So that aggression is just developed. Like in Canada, it's rare that you have a kid playing football and basketball.
Right.
Like everyone's like, I'm in soccer or I'm in hockey or I'm in basketball. Or, there's you kind of just stuck in the one. Every now and then you might do both, but I think for them, that aggression just carries over. They're used to it.
Makes sense.
So for us, it's like I've just been doing this my whole life. So I don't know what taking certain hits feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's not a non-basketball player, now they're looking at the sport a whole lot different.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what gave them that edge.
That makes sense, man.
It does make sense.
Because you hear a lot of these guys, and Edwards, he was a football player. Right. Super nice. Braun, I heard he was a football player. Yeah. But how was the process as far as like you choosing the university? You're here, over there, Hamilton Heights, you're doing your thing. How was that process of you choosing to go where you went?
I was actually really close with Jamie McNeely.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Shout out Jamie.
Yeah.
Coach McNeely.
Scarborough guy.
Come on now.
Grew up knowing him as like a family friend.
Yeah.
And so wanting to like kind of commit early, I know my mom wanted me to wait and stuff. I think I was at a point where I wanted to like get into my senior year and not have to worry about that decision.
Gotcha.
I wanted to make sure that when I was going into my senior year, it was basketball based. Mm-hmm. And then from the rest, I can worry about the decision and have to deal with the recruiting process. And fortunately, I kind of blew up after like a summer and just got like a bunch of offers right away. And then the schools kind of like started coming in and I started to see who I liked, who I want to explore. I know it was Maryland, Baylor, Virginia Tech, USC, and I think Cincinnati, because Cincinnati was early in their approach with me. I think I was like my sophomore year or something, or even my junior year, they wanted me to leave early.
Oh, wow.
Just to redshirt, just to go there. And I knew that the coach had really like checked for me. Like every day he's texting me. If it's not every day, every other day. Like, how are you? How's your family? Calling my coach that I'm living with. And he's talking to him. Like, and so I felt that appreciation. And so for me, it was like, okay, these are the schools I want to go to. These are schools I grew up watching players come out of. And it's like, I think I'm set. I think I'm ready. I went on a visit to USC. And I think outside of Jamie, I felt the most comfortable with Jason Hart.
Jason Hart, okay.
At USC. And I think him playing in the league also helped because it was like, I want to get there. So now I have that respect for him.
Syracuse guy. Guy,
he was always telling me like, small things about my game, what's going to carry over to becoming a pro. And it's California. I remember I went to Adidas Nations and I went to an unofficial visit because it's right there in LA.
Right.
And I'm on campus and I'm like falling in love with the city.
It's crazy.
Like I'm just coming out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. So you bring me to LA, like sunny is nice. Like, and then as a high school kid, you're seeing all types of girls. You're just like, like I'm lost. Like this is it for me.
Did you see the gym, the girls' practice gym? That's where they did Love and Basketball at?
Yeah. So I got to see everything. Like the whole, they took me on a tour and I'm like, man, like this would like downtown, you see Staples Center right there.
Crazy.
Like,
this is in the heart of LA, right?
And I'm thinking like, as a kid, I'm like, they're selling me big on this. And I'm like, you know what? I really appreciate Jason Hart and the opportunity. And it's like, I'm starting to inch towards it. I'm like, I really want to commit. I really want to commit. But I had that respect and love for Jamie. And I think the one thing that he kind of always was teaching me was not make life harder for yourself, but not ducking that hard route, you know what I'm saying? Like, exactly, the grind. And Buzz was about the grind.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I learned how to be a pro being there because of the approach and the things that he was teaching. I think if I went to SC, and I did commit there. So I committed there after the second time, but my mom wanted me to wait. And I'm like, Coach, I'm locked in. Like, I'm ready. Like, I got to wait because my mom said so, but I'm ready to go. And then I remember I have like my tweet ready and everything. And then I'm like, I can't do Jamie dirty like that. I got to at least go on the visit.
Get a visit, yeah.
So I go on the visit and again, two different ends of the spectrum. Like you're in LA, it's nice, sunny, sunshine, the beach is right there, big school, boom. You go to Blacksburg, Virginia. The buildings are all stone. It looks like medieval times. Like it's gloomy. I don't even think it was like really like a nice day the day I went. There's no games. And so I just kind of like kicked it with the team, like played, had fun playing. Seth Allen was my host. And the one thing that I got that was different was at the end of the visit, they started like playing my highlights, and they're breaking down each highlight to show me that it's very similar to how they play.
Right.
And so now one thing I'm noticing is like, I never really got that at SC.
Yeah.
So like now I know I can be myself truly into a system, and I'm just gonna pick up and hit the ground running in a sense. Like they're gonna implement me and keep me in my element. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna work. I can see this. I can see this through. And I'm like, you know what? The time my mom was on the visit and then she had to leave because she was working, and I'm by myself, and I'm like, man, I'm ready. Like, so now I'm committed to 2 schools. And I don't know what the heck to do. Like, I get home, Coach Zach's telling me, he's like, did you just commit to 2 schools? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you got to figure it out now. Like, you got yourself into this. Mm-hmm. You got to call every school, and you got to get yourself out.
Gotcha.
And that's one thing I learned about Coach Zach. Like, he like, taught me how to be a man and confront.
Yep. Gotta be accountable.
The hard talks and like
so
all those
awkward
things.
Conversations.
Yeah, super awkward, but you gotta go through
Coach,
it.
I gotta decommit.
And it was like, it was tough. And yeah, I think that process for me was a little irregular just because I don't have a set thing where I like living in the city. I like living in the country. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like I prefer mountains or beaches or it's just, for me, it was just all about basketball. Right. And I was getting a great opportunity in both places. And I think had I gone to SC, maybe I would have had an easier route to the league. But I feel like I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't go to Tech.
Okay, got you. Plus, Jamie was there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
definitely helped
for sure.
So when did you know you were ready to go to the NBA?
After my first year, I had like flashes of like being ready, and I know there's a debate of like, should I enter? Mm-hmm. You know, I can sneak into late first, or probably be a early second. And then at the time, I'm kind of like, I don't like leaving things without feeling like I like pass. Like I'm not good with just like
passing through.
Yeah, like if I gotta leave the gym, I'm trying to leave on 10 swishes, not 10 makes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
gotcha.
Yeah, that's big right there.
So for me, in that sense, I'm like, it doesn't really feel like 10 swishes. So you know, I'm like, I'm gonna go back next year, and then I'm for sure gonna be a solidified first round. Right. I was working out with Dev, and I learned how to work more. Mm-hmm. Because we had boot camp. So it's like, take it easy during boot camp. But it's like, how am I getting better in my skill? Right. So now I started like working out and doing boot camp, and like finding that professionalism and getting in the gym and my reps. And I started to make that huge stride. And my sophomore year, I felt like I had accomplished and solidified myself at that level. So it's like, now I can make that jump. Now I'm ready as a player, as opposed to making it barely and then trying to get right. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm right, and now I can just get better and grow to this.
Exactly.
And I think one thing about myself is like, I just need time to get comfortable. Once I get comfortable, and I think
kind of seen that this year.
That's the tough thing about learning and being in the league. Like, some guys pick things up fast, and like remembering it's not a sprint. You know what I mean? Like, like there's no race to success. Facts. I think it's different for everybody in their lifestyle, and I had to realize that for myself. Mm-hmm. And like, even speaking, like Shay's probably the closest person to me in my life, and he hit success very quickly compared to me. Right. And so I had to learn through him, being happy for him and looking at myself in the mirror like, I want to accomplish things for myself.
Facts.
And I had to understand it's his path, it's his journey. Right. God has set him for that. And for me, I got to do this. I got to take my time. I'm a slower learner. And then once I get it, I'm good. So for me now, it's just about taking my strides and being confident in that.
Bottom line.
Dope. So 2019, you're selected 17th man. How was that moment for you and your family?
It was surprisingly not what I thought it was gonna be, because I was too eager in the moment. And I had put, like, I have like this extreme personality and I'm learning it, but I was like, at the time I'm like, thank God I got picked. But I'm like, it's not lottery. You know what I mean? Like, these guys don't think I'm a lottery player now. So now I'm like,
5 slots less.
you know what I'm saying? You know, like now I'm like, there's 3 teams, I'm outside, and that they're taking this guy over me, and I'm feeling like I did well in these workouts. So now I'm like, okay, bet. And so now there's like a fire in me, like to improve and to show. And I think it's good and it's bad. You know, like in a moment like that, like I didn't start to think back from grade 9 and being in Toronto. It was the Top Gun tournament.
Ooh.
We
just came back from the Top Gun tournament. Shout out Top Gun.
It was us versus Bounce.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And at the time, it was us two. Like in the city, everyone knew. Yeah. Trevor Bounce, hands down. Yeah. We beat them by 20. I didn't play a single minute. In grade 9. After the game, we're chilling because like now our age is done. So the next age group, so we're watching. Me and my teammates come. Ball gets deflected out of bounds, hits me. I pass it to the ref. These guys are laughing at me, saying it's the first time I touched game ball.
Wow.
Damn.
And so I didn't even stop to think, like, I came from that in maybe, less than 5 years?
Crazy.
To now I'm a first round pick. But it was just like, all these things add up. And so it's like, okay, now I got this huge fuck you for everybody.
Right.
And it's like, it got in the way of like myself and success. But now when I think about the moment, it was amazing. Like now when I think about it, it was fire. But back then, it just didn't hit the same.
It didn't hit
yet because I still had that
everything was
anger
taken personal,
of, like that tension.
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
That's dope. Were you? Did you attend the green room, or were you like you were in New York? Okay.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to get the invite, and I was nervous too because I was. They tell you like because the teams have to give you a generalization of who they think they're gonna pick, and if your name comes in, and so my name comes in, and I'm like, all right, we're in New York. I got my suit, and I'm feeling good. I'm going through the process, and as it gets closer, I'm a little more nervous.
Right.
Cause now I'm like, where the hell am I going? Like,
you don't even know.
And I told my agents, I was like, don't tell me nothing.
Right.
The day you hear everything, I don't want to know. I don't want to hear anything. You get a call, keep it to yourself.
How many workouts did you have? Who did you work out for?
So I had one with Phoenix. I had one with Minnesota, Charlotte, 13, Miami, Boston, Orlando, Detroit, Indiana.
That's a lot of work.
So it was 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, or Orlando, 16. I didn't work out for the Pelicans. I had a draft interview at the Combine.
Right.
They had the 17th pick. I guess they liked the interview and felt good enough to pick me from then. And I worked out with Indiana, who had the 18th pick. So
the Pelicans they weren't even in the on the radar.
I had no idea. I thought they had the number 1 pick.
Right.
I know Lakers traded for DeAndre Hunter and or Lakers traded the pick and got AD and all that, whatever. So I know the 4th pick was going to Atlanta or something. And that day, people are making trades, but I'm not paying attention because I don't want to know. I want to hear Adam Silver say my name, and that's who's telling me. I don't want no one else telling me but him. Like that's how I know where I'm going.
All right.
And I think it kind of was like a little ruined because they got cameras everywhere, and once they know you're about to get picked, all 6 cameras go to your table.
Right.
So now I'm like, I worked out for this team. I think it went well. You know what I'm saying? Like my agent's saying it went well, so I got my head down. I'm like, it's gonna say my name, doesn't. So now I'm like getting anxious. I'm like, and they're telling us like, you gotta be professional and how you carry yourself on camera matters because there's guys that can sit in the green room for a long time.
Seen it, man. Seen it.
And so they're telling us this, and I'm like, am I about to be one of these guys? Like, and then we get to like 16, and I'm like, well, there's no more teams I worked out for. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know my range no more. Like, I didn't work out for Brooklyn or or Atlanta. The last time I knew Atlanta had to pick, and I'm like, I didn't work out for Atlanta. They just picked Cam Reddish and
was it Hunter?
Jackson Hayes.
Oh, Jackson Hayes.
But I know Dre was going to Atlanta because he was the 4th pick, and that's who they got. So I know Dre was going to Atlanta. Even though they didn't draft, like Atlanta didn't draft him, but I know he was going there. So I'm like, man, I'm like, how's this gonna work? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I get a call, and then they tell me I'm getting traded to New Orleans and all this stuff. So now I'm like a little at peace, but just hungry. Like the only thing I'm thinking is show and prove. Like I'm on this stage, I cannot fall off.
So Pelicans pick you up. You're there. You're in New Orleans. My question to you is, what was your welcome to the NBA moment, man? You're hooping with the leaguers now. You're there.
I think my welcome to the NBA moment was playing good and the next game not playing. That is probably the biggest concept that no one tells you as a person entering the draft, potential first-round pick. No one tells you you're going to play good and you're not going to play, and it's nothing you can do about it.
You can't talk to the coach. You don't even think of talking to the coach. What do you do?
Well, you can, but like the coach is just going to say, well, in my predicament, Alvin Gentry would have said, I got Drew Holiday, Lonzo Ball, Etuan Moore, JJ Redick. I got to find minutes for you now. Like, you got to find a reason. Like, and the only reason, and the only way for me to find a reason is someone's got to get in foul trouble. Someone's got to get hurt. And you're not wishing that on nobody, but like, that's how opportunities come for young guys. We got to get blown out last minutes of the game. I got to show and prove. And fortunately enough, I had a really good summer league. Then I had a really good preseason. And like first game preseason, put me in the 4th, 12 points. Second game preseason, put me in like a little earlier, and I had like 15. And in my third game, it was like against Chicago or something. Then killed in the 4th, came back from 20, killed in the 4th against Chicago. Like I missed one free throw. I think making 2 would have put us up or something in the late game situation. I missed both, came down, hit a 3.
Boom.
Like New York, 20, and then off the bench, I'm killing. So now I work to get to Toronto the first game, and they're putting me in the rotation. Like I'm in the rotation. I'm coming in as a backup, and that game didn't go well. But like again, me looking back, I had worked my way into the rotation, and my eagerness can work you out because now your rope is short. There's smaller margin for error. And I remember I came in 5 seconds left on the shot clock. First shot of my career is a step back 3. As a rookie, that looks insane. Like that looks insane. Like that's just like doesn't make sense. But like I caught a bomb and I had to shoot it. But like now I'm thinking maybe I should have drove it. Maybe I should have drive kick late. But maybe just throw it back. Maybe that guy should have bombed. But
5 seconds.
Like in that moment, you know what I'm saying? But in that moment, kind of just played in, and then I had to go through the ups and downs of the league and understanding guys are ahead of you, waiting your turn. And once I kind of like stayed ready and learned that part of waiting my turn is when I started to like excel when guys are out. So now it's like, I remember shoot around my second year, Lonzo's out, BI's out. Everyone's looking at me now because I had gotten to this point where they're like, yeah, we're going to need you tonight. 30. Like, Lonzo's out, 30. 37, 20. Like, I remember as a starter that year, I was averaging like 19, 5, and like 4. Because I knew when that opportunity came, I was gunning. And then as I kind of learned, and now I get this opportunity as a starter early on in the season, my third year, I'm even more eager. Now I'm like, I can't look back. And so starting slow, I kept trying to force and press. And then it kind of like things led to me getting traded and stuff like that. But I kind of learned through all those things, like that trial and error, like not to press so much. That's what taught me how to relax and become being a pro. And like, that's what taught me the process, the journey, and like not dwelling on the outcome the way I used to.
Right.
And that's why I think like it's taken me here today.
That's dope. That's dope, man.
Deep.
You're at Minnesota now, and what was the conversations like in the beginning of the year? Because when I say you guys had a hell of a year this year, man, and one thing I noticed with your game, you looked way more confident. Like you look like, I'm an NBA guy. I'm an NBA player. I belong here. What was the conversations you had amongst the team and, in the beginning of the year? And did you guys think you guys would get this far this year and make this playoff run like you guys did?
Mm-hmm. So I think that as far as the confidence stuff, it started when I wasn't playing in Utah. And as crazy as that sounds, I gained more confidence because I learned how to be a pro.
Gotcha.
The only thing I could rely on is the work I put in because I didn't know if I was going to play. And I'm thinking if this is going to be my last year in the league, because I'm just looking at it like I'm not playing. This is my 4th year. Like this is contract year essentially, and I have nothing to like just give you face value for. Right. So I'm thinking, I'm looking at Europe next year. Like, so now I'm just like, all right, enjoy it while you can. I'm in the gym all the time. Talking to the sports psychologist, like, just doing everything they had there, like getting breakfast early, taking care of my body, getting in the cold tub, coming back at night, lifting, getting in the cold tub again, working out extra. Like, okay, this is my set time. I'm going to come in early so I can get an extra 20 minutes. And then it just started picking up. Guys started going out. They play me. I play well. They don't. Come back in. I play well again. Cool. And now I'm starting to gain confidence in that because I know I'm doing good. Like I know every time I play well.
Gosh.
They just don't want to play me. And there's nothing I can do. And so now I'm finding peace and like just the moment in life and the process and just trusting that by the grace of God, somehow things will turn.
Work out.
And that was the trade to Minnesota. And so being in that trade kind of showed me like, I'm nervous, first of all, because I'm like, traded again. I'm like, now they already have a roster. So how the hell am I going to play?
Right.
Chris Finch was there my rookie year, and I was the eager, hard-headed, bad shot-taking rookie. And we used to argue. We used to argue to the point where I'm like, he would be talking, and like he was trying to help, but like I just didn't see it that way. And I'm like, all right, bro. Like, conversation's done. Like I'm done with this. Like just tuning out. And so I'm thinking, like, the perception of me now, I don't know if he's going to give me that chance. I don't know if he's going to come in with open arms. I want to like really give him like respect for that and appreciation for that because he gave me a clean slate. Yeah. He didn't look at me as the same guy and he understood who I was. And he said from the beginning, I don't know, you've been better. We see you doing this. This is what the team needs. This is how you're going to get your minutes. I'm trying to find a way for you to get into rotation. I don't know how. And then it worked out. And so coming into this season that just passed, we were like, we want to be a 50-win team. We got to stay healthy. Guys got to step up because it's not going to be, we're not going to be healthy. It's a long season.
Long season.
We got to do better at home. And slowly but surely, we started slowly breaking those small increments, increasing, getting better. Started off good. I shouldn't say that. If you look at our first 10 games, started off good. Our first 4, not really. But after losing to, I want to say Atlanta, that's what kind of like woke us up and got that fire lit in us because we were up 20 and we're like, yo, we got to set a standard. We want to be a 50-win team. We cannot continue to play at this level. We got to continue to play at a certain standard no matter what the night looks like. And I think that mentality is what gave us that push and shot us out to first, because we were just trying to play to the standard of being first, not, oh, everyone loves us, so, you know, we're nice.
Yeah.
Let's just, but nah, like we had something to prove. Everyone wanted to win. And we were thinking like, we got to start now if we want to get deeper into the postseason. And every time we lost a game, like, we can't have this shit hurt us in April.
Gotcha.
But anytime we're down to a team we should be up on, we don't want to look back. And in April, we're upset that we didn't have this one.
Gotcha.
And so I think that mentality got us to like making that deeper push.
I see you as an elite defender, right? And bro, you played 1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. So it's like coming into the league, did you see yourself as that, you know, guy? Because I know for a lot of kids out there, it's like when they're a scorer, that's what they want to do. And then when they get traded or somewhere, they're going to the league, it's like, you know, the way you can help this team is you got to defend. Mm-hmm. Like that's going to be your role. Mm-hmm. When you came into the league, did you ever see yourself, bro, you were playing 1? Like you were setting up the offense. Like, you know, you took, I remember Conley was out. I want to say, was it against Denver? I think he was out one game against Denver, and you started that game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think you scored like 15 or something like that. Had a really good game. Did you see yourself when you first came in the league like, bro, like I'm playing 1, 2, 3, and I'm guarding all the other.
Nah, honestly, I didn't know I can guard to my second year in the league. I didn't. Like, in Virginia Tech, I was like, yeah, I can play defense. You know, I get steals. Right. That was what I was really good at Virginia Tech, getting steals. I get 2 to 3, passing lanes, getting that. And I'm thinking, steals to buckets. And one thing my uncle always said was like, when you're starting off slow, find other things that get you going. Right. You got to be well-rounded. That was the mindset. So I'm thinking, steals to buckets, steals to layups.
Crazy.
That's 6 points right there. You know, I'm trying to get 20.
Yeah.
You know, like,
you got to break it down.
So like, all right, now I don't got to worry about the other, finding that 6 or making 2 threes or whatever the case. I got it right there. You know what I'm saying? So now the game's a little easier. And I think it was my second year playing with Stan Van Gundy. My agents are talking to me a little more, and it's like, I wasn't really shooting the ball well at this point in time, but I was guarding well. Mm-hmm. And there's times that just put me on the best player. Like this one, Bradley Beal was going crazy in Washington. Like, I think he was scoring champ or close to it. And I remember guarding him that game, and I felt like I was making it tough for him.
Got you.
And that's when it hit me like, oh shit, I can play defense. Like, okay, like this is cool. Like I didn't really notice. And then Stan just kind of kept giving me that assignment, kept pushing the envelope. Right. And then more and more. And then when I got to Utah, it was like more and more because that's all I had now. So now it's really like offense for me. Right. And that point you made, like, kids don't really know is like, they knew me, like, when I was coming out and then all this stuff, I was a scorer.
Bucket.
I was a scorer. Yeah. Like, it sounds crazy to, like, now you're seeing all defensive highlights and all this stuff, and people talking about 3-and-D, and it's like, you gotta, like, kind of understand that sometimes you just, and that's what the blessing about what I learned as a young age about being versatile is I had to be a defender to save my job, and now I can have an opportunity this season where there's chances where I had to make things happen and make plays, and they trust me to, and that's when my scoring ability can come out, and that's when I can be that true self. But you gotta also like give to take. Right. And so that's what you kind of learn being a professional in this league. And I think this season it really hit because like you said, I had to play 1, 2, and 3. I didn't think I was gonna be playing 1, 2, and 3. That's the last thing I thought. When Jaden was going down, I didn't think they were gonna call me. Right. But they trusted me. And Finch trusted me. No matter who went down, I was next man up. And I think slowly realizing that gave me that confidence back in myself. And then, all right, now's the opportunity. Take it. You've been so close to being out. Like, don't fuck around. Like,
playing heavy minutes, 39 minutes in the film. Like, that's
so
crazy.
Now I'm getting, so now this is like, I'm not seeing it as like playing the game. I'm seeing it as like my life now. Like,
Got you.
Like, I got to guard you for my life. At the end of the day. Like, that's what it's coming down to.
Straight up. So the playoffs come around. Game 1 versus the Suns. I believe you dropped like 18.
That was game 1. Yeah, game 1, right? I think. Yeah.
4 for 9 from the 3. Boom. Game 2. Game 2 next round. Because you had a very solid series against the Suns. Game 2 versus the Nuggets. This is like what everybody's talking about. Like, you know what I mean? I believe you had like maybe 12, 4 for 7 from the field. Solid, allowed 12 points. Like at that time, like, how was your confidence? Like, you know what I mean? Offensively, because you already know what you could bring defensively.
He's in a lot of big shots, man.
You know what I mean?
A lot of big shots.
I think the trust in my shot is there. And there's so much more to my game that I always had that I want to make sure I made a point. Because in the playoffs, you have to have something else. Once you do something the entire season, the team knows this is what he does. We cannot lose to him doing what he does.
Right.
We have to make the team, and you're getting studied.
Right.
And it's only you for 4 games, 7 games, however many games it is, it's only going to be adjustments on what you're doing.
Right.
And they're going to try to pull out every weakness in you to beat you.
Right.
And so you got to keep pulling it out more. And that was my main focus. Like, they know I can shoot. I've been making shots this season. I shot 39, which is the highest I've ever shot in my life.
That's high.
And so for me, they're saying the last thing we're going to give him is that.
Is that right?
What, like, make him do something else. And so I think in game 2, and also someone had said it earlier, like, I just kind of made big shots for the team as the season went on.
Mm.
And I stopped worrying about scoring because it was like, how many times have I done this?
Right.
Now, like, I know I could do this now.
Right.
So it's like, just let it come and you'll do it, and keep trying to find those spots and it's going to come.
Right.
And so that's when it started to open up, because the pressing left. And now the work's starting to show, because it's just coming out of its own. Like, it's coming out. It's like a butterfly in a sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's coming out of the cocoon and then it's allowing it to blossom. And I think for me, I had to do that, but
Right.
I had to stop being so hard pressed. And in the playoffs, it's a high stress situation. So you have to like relax and trust your work, which is why you can't wait to work. Because by that time, it's too late.
Straight up.
So it's like, so first round, like you got KD and Booker, which is like how do you prepare for that? Like how do you guys prepare? Like, we got to go against KD, and I believe they had like the regular season. They won the series in the regular season with you guys. Then you guys come out and you guys beat them 4-0. How did you guys prepare for these two guys? And then, like you said, they had Bradley Beal, who was a freaking. You had to deal with him in Washington not too long ago. Now he's here, like a 3-headed monster. They're all buckets. How do you guys prepare for those 3 guys, man?
I think we were so hungry because we knew that they swept us loudly, like 20 plus every game. Like,
that's
they're clearing the bench every game. Like, we weren't even close once.
Right.
Oh shit!
Not one time we played them did we even lose by like 10.
Oh shit!
Like, they were like, all right, they're on our necks at that point. And so, I think that was like the message where we had to look within, and guys were gonna have to embrace certain challenges.
Gotcha.
Like, the only way, like the saying is, the only way out is through. Like, literally, the only way out was through. The only way for us to prepare for Phoenix, Cat was gonna have to guard KD. And throughout the season, we didn't want that because KD, Jaden is versatile. He's able to, and so now we got Cat guarding Grayson Allen, who's also a shooter. So they played to their strengths very well. They're a matchup problem because they have 3 superstars and an elite shooter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a matchup problem. But we had to make our superstars embrace challenges, which is what the playoffs is about. And credit to Cat, he did that. I seen him literally say, I'm not even hooping in these shoes because I need a guard tonight. Like, that's his mentality. And like, seeing that was like, okay, now I know we're ready.
Right.
Gotcha.
And it showed, like, game 1, how we came out.
Crazy.
Just guarding, aggressive. Game 2, same thing. Game 3, They gave us a little bit of pushback, but then boom, blew it out. Like blowing up the game. Now we're up 20 again. Game 4, now they're just fighting not to go home in that fashion. But by this time, we're poised. We're still down to guard and do all those tough things. And I think the preparation was guarding. The preparation was making the right plays in double team situations. Right. It got to the point where I think after game 3, I had made 4 threes in the third quarter.
Got you.
Game 4, I had no opportunities to shoot open threes. So now Ant's just cooking.
Oh my God.
And he's gonna be Ant. And now like that was the tough thing for us. And Jaden was playing well.
Oh God, Jaden was hooping.
Nas was coming off the bench giving us energy. And so I think like Cat was shooting the ball well and like playing clean and like shooting threes in the post, making KD guard. So now it's like these guys don't have as much left in the tank because they're so heavy, like loaded as a team. So I think that kind of just helped us in our preparation, just prevailed us because we used our versatility, we used our strengths, and we embraced the challenges by going through them.
Got you.
Wow. You mentioned the great KD and playing against him in the playoffs there, first round. What was it like watching Ant-Man just evolve into something we've never seen before, going against KD? With all due respect, he was kind of taking it to him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you're watching it. So like, what was the feeling like?
Sometimes it's like he'll go on a run. He'll go on a run and he'll do some stuff, and I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like, what is actually going on? Like the John Collins dunk, and then like I think that game 1, he scored like 12 straight, and he just blacked. Like, and I'm just like, yo, like
he was talking.
He just does things. I'm like, what is happening? Like, how is this guy doing this? Because I know Ant, and like we work out together and stuff like that. So it's like playing against him, having friendly competitions with him. Yeah. It's like he can enhance himself and like by turning it on in his mind. And that's that's a blessing that he has. Like, not too many people have that luxury of, all right, say less. This is what we're doing? I got you. It's over. And it's really over.
And it's really over.
What I'm saying? Like, when you think about guys that did that, like you hear stories of Kobe saying like when Amon Shumpert talked about it, he was like, good game. Yeah. And the 4th just started. You know what I'm saying? Like Ant can really like, we'll do shooting games and he'd be like talking crazy. Like, I can't say it, but he's talking crazy. And then next thing you know, he's running it up and he might win that game just because of his mindset. And it's like, because he got going, everything else followed. His confidence, everything else followed. You know what I'm saying? Like he's skilled, and now when you add all that mentality stuff to it, it's like yeah, it's unreal.
It's crazy. He was talking crazy too, man. So you guys go to Denver. You guys are facing Denver now. They're the favorites, and everybody felt like they were gonna win, right? You guys come out. You guys win the first 2 games in their building. And we're talking about everybody always was complaining about the altitude, playing in Denver. Like, yo, it's crazy. Guys are running around, gasping for air. How was it like playing in Denver? And then how was it preparing for Joker? Like, this guy just does whatever he wants out there. And I feel like you guys handled it pretty well. And then how do you prepare for a guy like Jamal Murray? Like, he's Canadian. You guys were just suiting up in the summer. Like, how do you turn that switch on? But like, I gotta cook you, bro. I don't care. I gotta lock you up. Like, how does that happen? You know, when you guys are facing in a freaking playoff game.
I think the one thing I would say to that was we've always been better on the road this past season. Mm-hmm. I think so. Our focus and preparation, we're there early to get accustomed to the altitude. We're working. Guys are staying locked in, friendly team dinners. Like, just keeping it light and heavy, and like everything was just basketball. Mm-hmm. And so for us, don't get me wrong, like, I remember walking in game 2, walking into the locker room at halftime, chest is burning, like tired, like, and I can't show up, but I'm like, yo, I'm dead right now. Trying to get some water, trying to like calm myself down because the altitude is still tough.
Right.
But I think we were just so locked in and cohesive that was like our best basketball through and through. Yeah. Offensively, defensively.
Yeah.
Like clinic and preparing for Jokic. You kind of understand, like, if you notice, probably had 30 every game. You know what I'm saying? Or if he didn't have 30, like he might have 16 on a bad shooting night. But like, there's guys like, if you make the playoffs, every team has one guy, no matter what you do, they're going to have 30 that game. Right. They're going to have 30. So you start to say, okay, how do we take other things out?
Right.
How do we make it your 30 points versus our team?
Right.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why we had to take Beal out of the series. Now we got to take Jamal out of the series. Yeah. We got to take Michael Porter out of the series. Right. Let's try to limit Aaron Gordon and what he does for them. So now it's like, Jokic, you are going to have to score 100 points against us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
not to mention like the rebound and the assist as well.
And so that's what it's saying. Like, you got to take the assist out, but it's hard because he is like, he manipulates the game the best out of anybody. Like, he can put guys in positions and manipulate defenses, and on the fly, he's smart. You can tell he has a feel for the game that nobody else does. So the passes he makes, like seeing things like 3 plays ahead, 3 clicks ahead, and it's like, all right. I remember like, I'm the low man, I step up, he just touch passes it. As soon as I step up, just touch passes, doesn't even look, runs the next way. And it's like, damn, like, there's nothing you can do. He has the answer. Go ahead and do it. He's gonna answer the test. So I think like that's just kind of the tough part about Denver. And then as far as going against Jamal, honestly, it was just like, I wanted a ring. Like I'm looking at him like he has one. He's good.
He got one.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got one. Like now this is like our chance, our turn.
Got
Mike Conley, and as far as like everyone in my locker room, at that point in time, even if it was going against Shea, like there is no family outside of the guys in my locker room.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? There is no fellow Canadian. There is no patriarchy. None of that. It's just Minnesota Timberwolves
against everybody.
Exactly.
Got you. Okay, you guys go to Dallas. Now you got Kyrie and you got Luka, man. These are guys that you got to guard. Who is the tougher guard between these two guys? Like, who is harder to guard between Luka and Kyrie?
Luka, I think.
Luka?
Yeah. He has a little more size to him.
Got you.
Like,
he about 6'8".
Yeah. And he's probably 20 pounds heavier than me.
Shit.
So like when you add in that weight, and so now that was one of the main things now for me. It was like going against him, I was like, okay, there's another element I gotta add. And it's like an appreciation because you're going against great players, and great players are gonna show you where you need to be better.
Right.
And so like I embraced that challenge of going against Kyrie because it's like he has a counter for his counters. And then
that's the difference.
And then when it's a tough shot, it's not a tough shot.
Right.
It's just Kyrie. It looks tough, but to the next guy, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been watching Kyrie like since like St. Patrick's Days and those who mixtapes. So it's like you've seen him make tough things and it looks easy. So you're kind of just like, all right, you know, at this point, like I just gotta keep staying in front. Now I got to disrupt rhythm. Now you're looking at different things out of like trying to play tough, trying to guard. Now I'm like, how do I take him out of his rhythm, cut him off, put him in places where he has to now pass it. And like now I'm trying to funnel him into as much traffic as possible and sort of things like that. But I mean, all in all, Luka is probably harder to guard, but Kyrie is maybe here, like this much of a difference because he's a 3-level scorer. He's quick and he's a lot smaller. So now I'm trying to like get to angles and play low and
oh my God.
So, I mean, you had the Worlds, then you had the regular season, playoffs. Now you're getting ready for the Olympics. You guys are getting ready to go to Paris just now. Like, number one, how do you stay in shape? And number two, Like, are you ready? Are you ready for this Olympic push?
I think because everything just carried over, I'm still in shape.
Okay.
Crazy,
So I couldn't even like stop from, you know what I'm saying?
How much rest did you actually have? Did you rest for like a week, a few days?
I probably took 10 days.
10 days?
10 days off.
Got you.
But not entirely, still lifted like here and there. Got like some just body maintenance workouts. And then got fully back on the court. And like now we're back into the swing of things. But this is like a love. I knew before Worlds last year, it was going to teach me or test me to see how bad I love the game. Like, how bad do I want to continue to stay in shape? Like, is this going to be fun for me? Like, you know, and all that's going on in my life, it was like, right now, I had to continue to work and be that person that I said I was going to be. Like, there's no negotiating with myself. And like, that was the one thing I kind of learned from like a Kobe Bryant video. Like he said, like, I don't negotiate with myself. And if I say I'm going to do it, I got to do it. And so now making that commitment to play for Team Canada is like, if I'm saying I'm going to do it, I'm going to use this to make myself a better player. Like, this is part of the summer work. So now I see the Olympics as an evolution to my game and how I'm going to improve and using that stage to take me to another level.
That's dope. That's dope. I want to talk. I want to move a little on with basketball. This is hip hop hoops. We just seen a legendary battle just happen. You know, with Drake and Kendrick. Who are you? You team Kendrick or team Drake, man?
To be honest, like it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. But I feel like at the end of the day, like, you gotta be Team Drake. You know?
Drake. Gotcha.
At the end of the day, like, it is what it is.
It is what it is. I take it straight up.
Yeah, nah, he.
So, just to add to that, I mean, going to Paris, you're gonna see Slovenia. You're gonna see Germany. You're gonna see United States. If they come out to warm-ups and they're playing You're Not Like Us, are we going to be a little bit more offended? Is that going to make us a little bit more hyped to go at them? Because they're coming with their Monster squad. And I seen a couple guys bump into that You're Not Like Us track. And it's a phenomenal track. Don't get it twisted. But if they play that against us while we are playing them, are we going to watch them face and really want to take their heads off?
Nah, I mean, like, any shots or anything like that is gonna be disrespect. You know what I mean? Like, and competitors use every little
That's what
thing.
I'm saying.
So like, so most definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like, but and again, like, associating me with him,
right?
Like, no, nothing against Drake. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I'm not part of the beef. Don't put me in it. And now you're associating me with him,
right?
And like, and all those things. So it's kind of like, okay, I see myself as my own person. If someone calls me Shay's cousin, I take that to heart.
Right.
And it's like, I am Shay's cousin, but no, like, I'm my own person.
You're your own person.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now I got to compete. And so like every small thing, every advantage, like, just got to take it and use those things.
Well, just be ready. I have a feeling they're going to try and play some mind games with you guys.
For sure.
Last, before we go, I know that you're huge on fashion. You got, you know, an amazing sense of style, man. Who would you say is more fashionable, you or Shay?
He's more obsessive. He's more obsessive. I have like fashionable. It's different because we're like similar but ourselves. But I would say he's more obsessive with his passion for fashion.
Got you.
I'm like, I love cars. I got interest in other things. Like, I'm doing Duolingo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like for me, it's like other things, but I love fashion at the same time. But he has this like obsessive nature for like basketball and fashion.
That's it.
Right.
And that's his lane, and that's what he stays in. And me, I'm like trying to learn new things and foods and all different stuff. And so for me, it's like, I'm kind of like
A little bit.
Yeah, like I like to enjoy other things, but I would say, yeah.
Okay.
You give it to him? Okay.
Yeah.
So we do a thing called drip or trip. We just look at a bunch of guys in the league or hip hop artists and we'll just, we'll talk about their fits. We got a few fits from Shay. And we want you to answer these questions. Is this drip? Is he dripping or is he tripping?
Okay.
So I want you to look right here. I'll pass it on. I think that's a Louis fit right there.
No, that's okay.
So I want you to know, is he tripping or is this drip?
Okay, I didn't actually see this one ever. Ever. This is when he had his like no shirt face.
Right.
He had his no shirt face. But like it's hard to say. Like when you in the moment, if I seen this, I'm probably like, all right, that's fire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's fire. Like
today, what is your thoughts?
Now when I look back, I'm probably like, it's loud. You know what I'm saying? Like it's loud. And he's probably gonna say he was tripping too. Like we look back and we're like, oh. Like it's just like I remember this summer he had no shirt on every time. Jackets and no shirt. That was his thing. Like he loved his chest. So I think
he's tripping.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on this one.
Oh, he's tripping. We got a few more. We got this one here.
Now, this one goes.
I think this was a good one. He's super. When you say he's obsessed, now I understand because this one right here, he's matching. Is he dripping
from the ground to
or is
the
he
whip
tripping on this one?
to his fit?
Yeah, it's like I'm saying, obsessive. Can't put the captions, everything.
Holy!
Nah, like this one's fire. This one's fire. Yeah.
Okay, he's dripping. Okay, got a few more. We got this one. I like this one here.
This is like the versatility. Clean, simple. And I think this is fire.
Fire.
I think it's fire.
He's dripping.
Good look.
He's dripping. Last one. Oh, this is. I think this might have been one of his shirt off. When he went to show. Yeah.
He's in the weight room, man.
But the thing is, though, this is like, sometimes it's not bad. Like shirt off, but he was beating it to death. Like that's where he was killing it. But this one's fire. This was fire. I remember it was like his birthday. He had the lamb.
Yeah.
When you have a lamb like that, it's your birthday, you gotta go crazy. You gotta go crazy. So,
okay, last one. I think this might have been like rookie year or sophomore year when he's in the league. Is he dripping or is he tripping on this one?
Sophomore year in the league, and at this time he's dripping because the pants then no one was wearing them, and then all of a sudden. No, everybody was wearing them. Like
trendsetter.
Everybody was wearing them.
Trendsetter.
Red boots. The first one I see.
Yes.
It just went crazy after that.
He set the trend for those pants, and so I'll give him the credit, and I'll say in that moment that's drip.
Is he still with Converse?
Yeah.
And that's what I said. It's trendsetter. You were laughing at me when I said, "Yo, he's gonna turn Converse into something."
Right. I thought he was gonna leave personally. Man. I thought he was gonna go to Nike.
Trendsetter. Shout out Shay, man. Let's go, man.
But that's it, man, for us, man. We appreciate you sitting down with us, man.
Thank you. Everything that you dropped today, you dropped some gems in regards to being accountable for your actions. The work that you put into the game that's the only thing you really have control over. You know what I mean? You don't have control over the minutes. You don't have control over what the coaches have to say, but you have control over the work you put in. You know what I mean? And this is going to go a long way for the young people looking up to you. And thank you. You know what I mean?
Man. Appreciate it, man.
And shout out Gus. Gus, I know you're mad at us.
Out Gus.
You're still one of the top 5 coaches out here. You're still one of the top 5 coaches out here, man. You know what I mean? Gus, Vaughn, all y'all, come on now.
Yes, sir.
And we're signing out, man. We out.